in the heart of the Arabian desert lies a hidden, ancient realm shrouded in mystery and paradox. For over 1,000 years, this wearied kingdom sat hidden from the world, empty and silent, save for the delicate sand being swept across its ghostly passages. The quiet solitude of a forgotten empire echoes through the narrow canyons as she sits waiting to be awoken from her deep slumber. In 1812, her moment of awakening arrives. Since being rediscovered by the modern world, we have been humbled by our misconceptions about this city of stone. A barren landscape once thought to be merely a hollow city of tombs was, in fact, a wealthy, thriving metropolis. Despite sitting in the middle of one of the most unforgiving climates in the world, they skillfully harnessed nature's most vital resource to create a lush, artificial oasis at the crossroads of international trade. For over 400 years, this city of contradictions flourished as a symbol of ingenuity and power before finally succumbing to the sandstorms of time. This is the lost city of Petra. Two millennia ago, thousands of weary merchants traveled down a long cobblestone path through the narrow gorge, or seek, leading to Petra, in search of water, sustenance, and shelter. The walls of the seek rise to an intimidating height of over 600 feet on both sides, making even the most prosperous merchant feel small. Combined with the scorching heat and aching muscles from an arduous trek, one can imagine the joy upon finally seeing the famous Eye of the City peering through the canyon walls, perhaps even wondering if it was a mirage. But a few more steps would soon awaken all the senses. Having traveled hundreds of miles on foot, horseback, mule, or camel, itinerant traders from Europe, Asia, and the Arabian Peninsula all converged at this strategically placed desert oasis. In exchange for water and shelter, the city collected a tax on all goods coming into the city. In this way, Petra became one of the wealthiest and most successful cities of the ancient world. Here, a melting pot of merchants exchanged spices, silks, incense, and more importantly, knowledge, philosophy, and ideas. But one feat, whether borrowed or invented would surpass all others in defining Petra's legacy: water. Petra is located in one of the driest areas on Earth, getting an average of just 6 inches of rain per year. Yet a bustling city of 25,000 people didn't just survive, but thrived here for over 4 centuries. And it's all due to their masterful ability to harness the most precious treasure of all: the designers of Petra, the Nabateans, developed one of the most sophisticated and complex water systems of the ancient world. Every drop of water was captured from miles around and redirected to the city through a series of canals, pipes, and channels built directly into the rock. Whatever wasn't immediately needed was stored for later use in reservoirs and cisterns. Using this complex engineering marvel, archaeologists estimate that the water system carried 12 million gallons of fresh spring water every single day. But their saving grace could also be their doom. Flash floods were a sporadic yet dangerous occurrence. But not to be deterred, the Nabateans devised protection scenarios by building dams and levees to shield their beloved city from the torrential waters. As more evidence of their resourcefulness continues to emerge, we may be further astounded by the extent the Nabateans were able to exploit water for their benefit. In addition to their masterful command of water, the Nabateans harnessed another natural resource that would turn their beautiful home into a rose-tinted dream. They decided to carve their entire city from the soft, red-hued sandstone of the Arabian desert. Even the name Petra is Greek for rock. This innate stone was ideal for carving monolithic facades that would make every visitor gape in wonderment. Many theories abound as to which method was used to carve these colossal structures with such simple tools. But the current consensus is that the artists worked from the top down. By climbing a hill and setting up a platform, the workers could begin cutting into the rock. As they continued downward, the debris from the carving would create a natural platform under their feet. In this way, they could easily and safely finish the facade and erase any trace of their presence on the way down. The Nabatean architectural style appears to be a blend of Greek, Roman, and other diverse influences, suggesting Petra's identity as a central trading post was paying dividends in the way of exchanging technological know-how. Evidence of artistry and creativity are present everywhere in the city, but none more so than the pride of Petra, the treasury. This facade is considered one of the most elegant monuments of antiquity. It epitomizes the strong, intelligent, powerful nature of its builders. Constructed between 86 BC and 25 AD, There are numerous theories as to its true use. Some suggest it was an elaborate tomb for a king. Others say it could have been a literal treasury or bank where the traders paid the taxes on their goods. Still another intriguing theory is that it was a library, then considered a symbol of knowledge, power, and prominence. One thing that is certain is the treasury was built to impress. It is the first building one sees after emerging from the Sikh, and standing at the foot of its columns gaping skyward, one feels they are in the presence of greatness. Surrounded by tombs on all sides, it is easy to understand how Petra was once mistaken as a city of the dead. No less than 500 tombs are built into the rock walls of the city. The most impressive are the royal tombs, those of ancient Nabatean kings and queens. Little is known about who or what was placed in the tombs, but the ornate facades were clearly designed with the utmost care and respect. The amphitheatre across the road was built in the early 1st century and seats approximately 3,000 people. No evidence exists as to what type of entertainment took place here. It may have been dramatic plays, religious ceremonies, cultural celebrations, or, as the prominent backdrop might suggest, funerals for dignitaries. The colonnaded street was the central thoroughfare of Petra. The political, religious, and social heart of the metropolis lay adjacent to a stream where water from the surrounding canyons would pass, leading to the great temple. More than twice the size of a football field, the Great Temple is the largest freestanding building in Petra. Archaeologists from Brown University have been excavating the temple for over 15 years and have made a startling discovery. Using advanced technology, they discovered an ancient resort which appears to have included a large pool, an island pavilion, a garden complex, and even a water filtration system. What was once thought to be a humble marketplace turns out to have been a sprawling, luxurious center of activity. Perched at the top of the mountain overlooking the ancient city sits the largest facade of all, the monastery. While not a true monastery, the building was likely a tomb or a shrine dedicated to the Nabatean king Obidas III. Although more simplistic than the treasury in its design, the monastery bests its famous counterpart for size. One only has to look at Petra from on high to truly understand the magnitude of innovation that was required to turn it into a fully functioning economic center. But the enigma of this ingenious feat is matched only by the mystery of the people who built it. The Nabateans began as a simple, nomadic Bedouin tribe, ultimately settling in Petra, making it the capital of their small kingdom. When international trade routes opened, they were little more than middlemen. But as their political and economic fortunes improved, they gained political control over the land bordering the Arabian frontier. Cross-cultural influences from trade were sure to have encompassed technology, design, and architecture. Very likely, stories from faraway lands of iconic wonders like the Colosseum in Rome and the Acropolis in Athens are sure to have only strengthened their resolve to glorify their own empire. However, we can merely speculate as to the motives, methods, and desires the Nabateans had in creating their glorious city. For despite evidence of an advanced society with extreme literacy, no writings have ever been found. No records, no scrolls, no maps, nor blueprints that reveal their engineering secrets. Nothing but the remnants of their artistry to tell us how they came to achieve the impossible. In 106 AD, Emperor Trajan peacefully annexed Petra to the Roman Empire. The city continued to flourish for a while, but as other cities grew in importance and attracted the trade routes away, Petra's prominence declined. Two devastating earthquakes and possibly floods appear to have contributed to the ultimate failure of the city, one in 363 AD and another in 551 AD. Over the years, buildings were looted, tombs were raided, and treasures were stolen, robbing future generations, perhaps of ever knowing the whole truth about the masters who lived there. In the 4th century, Petra enjoyed a brief revival as a Christian community. However, the Islamic conquest in 630 AD essentially ended Petra's usefulness as anything but a silent memorial to greatness. Petra lay silent for over 1,000 years until rediscovered in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, who had heard legends of an ancient desert city and successfully passed himself off as a Muslim traveller on a religious trek to gain access. What he found were the crumbling remnants of a rose-colored empire basking in the light of her faded glory. The forgotten truth of this ancient civilization longs to burst forth, like the waters she so cleverly treasured. In nearly 100 years of excavation, archaeologists have investigated less than 1% of Petra's remains, and what they have found only begs more questions than answers. How a simple nomadic tribe came to design one of the most technologically advanced cities in antiquity, yet left behind no writings of their culture to posterity, is a riddle that may never be fully understood. Even now, more than 2,000 years after her creation, she continues to surprise and educate us, teaching us lessons about working in tandem with nature and each other to create a world beyond our wildest imagination. Her legacy is etched in history as much as sandstone. Perhaps it's only natural that this lost city was destined to be found.